All right, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Stoppage Time Stooges podcast. Andrew, alongside Christian, Jacob, Ricardo, and for another week of mayhem. Hopefully, we want mayhem on this podcast, right?
Depends on where it's coming from.
Okay, that's fair. Jacob, you've had a decent week. We'll get to that a little later. First, we got Champions League because the other round of 16 matches happened this week. Half of them happened last week. Now we got some more this week. Boys, let's start off. We'll start off with the San Siro. Let's start off with a match that happened yesterday. Inter Milan and Atletico Madrid. Oh, man. I thought I was expecting draw most of this match. And then out of nowhere, Inter finishes it 1-0. What do you boys think about this?
Jacob?
Are Inter the best team in the world?
I think they're fair? I'll tell you this. They're the most disrespected team in the world right now.
I mean, how ahead are they in Serie A?
They're on pace to have 100 points.
Which I think the last time it was done by a Conte side for Juve. I think 102 points.
Correct. Yeah, it was 2015-16, I think.
Okay, so they're on pace to do that. Is it? And I think I saw you guys shared something that they did not give up a shot on target yesterday.
Yeah. No.
I mean, look, the Inter are what Thomas Tuchel and Jose Mourinho wish they were doing. Winning ugly. No, it's true.
I don't know if I don't think it was ugly.
Well, I mean, 1-0. Like, it's not like it's never going to be like this, you know.
Sure.
It's always grit and grind. That's what I guess I'm trying to
That's true.
Convey. You know, two teams that are mirror each other, in my opinion, as far as the style and the way that they play. And Inter got the job done. And that's what they've been doing for almost all year. They just find ways to win. It's you know, whether you expect it to happen or you don't expect it to happen, they find ways to win. That's why I think they're such a formidable side. Also, last year they were really close. I mean, yes, they played a much better team in City, but they only lost 1-0. They were right there on the verge of winning a Champions League, and I think that's probably motivated them to do it again. Go all the way this time around. They lost Andre Onana. They replaced him with Jan Sommer, who has the most clean sheets in all of Europe as far as domestically, and I don't know about the Champions League, but another clean sheet for Inter. Seems like it's what they do best, is just defend and, you know, keep the other team from scoring. And again, they did it again. They got the job done. Obviously, you know, 1-0. It's not a comfortable lead, but it's a positive result. And if you're Inter, they were away. Were they at home or away?
Inter were at home.
Okay, they were at home. All right, you maybe would have liked to do a little better, but it's better than being down 1-0 or it being 1-1. So that's how I would take it if I'm Inter.
Yeah, I'll go next. I thought Marko Arnautovic was dreadful for large stretches of that second half.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he gets a goal with a bit of fortune, and if he doesn't get that, it looks a lot different. I think Madrid was 10 to 15 minutes away from getting a massive result, which I think if they had drawn this game, I would pick Madrid to win that second leg and eventually advance. I just think we've talked about it on numerous occasions. They are so tough to beat at home. It's the record over the last calendar year at their home field is insane. It doesn't. They just feel like they can't be beaten in that area. And Inter thankfully got a goal in the 79th minute, but I thought Lautaro Martinez was not very good, and his expectations are very high because I think he's the third leading goal scorer in Europe's top 5 leagues this season, behind Mbappe, and I don't know who's second, but he needs to be better in that second leg, I think, for them to put this away. I thought the best player on the field was Nico Barella.
Yeah,
his balls into the box, causing problems, picking up the ball from deep, and I think the biggest miss for Madrid was Morata, who I didn't even think was going to be able to play in this game. He had an injury maybe 2 weeks ago, and it seemed like he was going to miss 3 weeks at least. So he had one of the biggest chances for Madrid, and it went off target. But
it was right on him. He just whiffed it. He just whipped it.
He needs to be fully fit.
It was going to be a header, too. It was his specialty.
Yeah. So I'm getting flashbacks.
Yeah. He didn't do it as often maybe at Chelsea, but I think he's been one of the most consistent strikers this season in Europe. It's remarkable the levels he's putting up. And I think Griezmann, I don't know if you guys watched that game, but every time he picked up the ball, it seemed like it was near the halfway line.
Yeah.
And he had to drop very deep. And that's a credit to what Jacob mentioned in the defense. Inter is just so compact defensively. Their three center backs are always communicating and they understand where they need to be. And Griezmann and Morata need to be much more impactful near the final third if Madrid's going to win the second leg, because as Inter usually do, they defend incredibly well. I think Jan Sommer's got more clean sheets than goals allowed in all competitions this season. So, that just points to what Jake talked about. So, right now, going into the second leg, I would favor Inter just because this plays right into their hands. They can counterattack, and assuming Marcus Thuram is healthy in March, I think Inter are in a better spot. If this game was 0-0 going to the second leg, I think Madrid wins. But with Inter ahead, I would pick the team that got to the final to ultimately advance to the quarters.
Man, they should have won by at least 2 or 3. Arnautovic definitely had a couple chances, and I think it's just funny that for some reason, like away from home, it just sometimes feels like Atletico kind of waits to concede a goal to get going. Like it's almost like they need a wake up call and someone like slap them across the face, be like, "Oh, all right, it's time to go now." Like it's just kind of been a recurring theme for them, and you can't do that though against it seems like Inter, especially with how well they are defensively set up. And it's just, they had to do more. They eventually woke up and had a couple chances, as you said, Christian, but it wasn't, they couldn't break Inter down at all. And that's more, credit to Inter, but also just Atletico struggling to find spaces and putting balls in. And like you said, Griezmann having to come back and get the ball at the halfway line. Like that's not really what he wants to be doing, but it's just what they had to do because they couldn't find ways to break down Inter. So I would say, Inter definitely deserves. I would probably think that they're going to go through, even though I said in my prediction Atletico would go through, but it's fine. It's a win for me either way because I hate Atletico. So, Inter doing me a favor one way or the other. But, it's just, Inter showing, their not their true colors, but showing who they are, and on the biggest stage, they're showing up and really, making an argument again to get to that final. They did very well yesterday.
That's just what happens when you play in front of Kanye West and Ty Dolla
God.
How about that? That was a funny Skycam image.
That was weird.
Yeah, him wearing the mask.
I love that they could tell that was him, even though because who else would wear that?
Who else? But honestly, Ricardo making a very important point. It felt like Inter should have won 5-0. But either way, I just like Ricardo, I had Atletico advancing as well. I am not so confident. I was hoping for a draw coming out of the San Siro, but right now, everyone needs to step up on Atletico. They just looked off all over the place. Like, it was 1-0. And I know I said before it should have been, I thought it was going to be a draw, but it felt like a complete domination from Inter, at least from the second half on, once Arnautovic came in. But either way, we head back to Madrid, and Atletico has some work to do. And we'll see if Morata will be able to play a full 90 at that point, because that would be a big help for them. But moving on, Let's talk about the other match from yesterday. PSV and Borussia Dortmund in Eindhoven. Oh, man. Christian, your guy, Daniel Malen.
Yeah, I did mention. You know what's funny is I didn't realize that he had won a league title with PSV back when he was in the Netherlands, which I know they talked about in the broadcast.
Yeah.
That was kind of poor defending by Serginho Dest, I would argue. You need to block that off, and of course the deflection and it goes into the roof of the net. But 2v1 as well, it needs to be taken care of. That's a really bad angle to be giving up a goal from, but. They got a little fortune with a penalty. I don't know if you guys believe that was a penalty on Mats Hummels. I think it wasn't. But again, it's difficult to overturn. And Luke de Jong, who actually became PSV's all-time goal scorer in the competition, continues his good form, which we didn't see it at Barca. And I think before that he was at Sevilla. But, I mean, hey, going home, I guess, has really rejuvenated him. And I mean, there's a reason why PSV is so far ahead in the, league. So I think Dortmund still very similar to Inter are going to feel good about themselves because they're so tough to beat at home as well. And this is a young PSV team that should have taken more of an advantage playing at home, I think, in the first leg. So I think Dortmund's in a good spot. Again, their form hasn't been ideal as of late, but I think given their experience in this competition and they'll be home, it's hard to see PSV going there and getting a good result.
Yeah, I mean, oh, sorry, Ricardo, you go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say PSV, I feel like they had, in the first half especially, they definitely had a few chances in front of net and just, I forget his name. Who was their number 10? He's number 10, but plays as 9. Yes, thank you. He had a few chances, man.
U.S. International.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I'm blanking on his name, but he had a couple of decent chances in front of the net and just hit them wide, just scuffed them. I was like, man, those could have been key for going into the second leg. Inches. I'm just like, just gotta be clinical on those. Like those are the goals. Those are the moments that matter a lot, especially when you're at home. It's just like you need to take advantage of those, and it just PSV didn't. And that penalty, I mean, sure, it was soft, it was, but it's not like it was undeserved. The PSV deserved something out of this game. Sure. I feel like, but like you said, Christian, I think Dortmund probably has the upper hand in this because of their experience in the competition. So. But I'm not going to count PSV. I still think this is going to be one of these.
It's very even. It's 50-50. It feels. Yeah.
I expect more goals. I feel like there probably should have been more yesterday, but I don't know. This could be the highest scoring second leg, I think, out of all the games. Just because there's so many unknowns. Just like I don't know. I just have a feeling for some reason.
I mean. Both goalkeepers had decent games too, Benitez and Meyer from Dortmund, and each came up with 4 saves. But Serginho Dest, other than that one mistake for Malen, actually I thought had a solid. I thought it was one of his better defensive performances of his career. Shows how bad of a defender he is. But I thought he stood up pretty well. There was one point where who might have been Fulkrug was in transition and Serginho Dest ran back full pace. He used all the muscle he had left in him and caught up to him and did well on the ball until he had some people come back. So he had a solid defensive game, but I like Ricardo expected more goals as well from this type of matchup. How about you, Jacob? What do you think?
I predicted 1-1 in the first leg when we did our prediction show. I did not have a very strong feeling on either of these teams. I said that as well beforehand. Match was, sort of, I guess, what I expected, but I don't know. I guess if Dortmund going back home, I'll give them the edge, and I did when we were doing our predictions. I think I said that they'd win 2-0 back at home, but this could go either way. I don't think that either of these teams has a particular advantage over the other. I think this is a pretty evenly matched contest. So We'll see what happens. I will not really be surprised with any of these outcomes that could happen, unless one of them's, I guess, a blowout. Then I'd be surprised. But otherwise, I'm not gonna. Nothing's gonna shock me from the second leg. So we'll see.
Anything else in this matchup, or there wasn't really. I think we hit the nail on the head with the key parts of this. Just a lot of missed chances, and it was a big result for Dortmund. They should be favored heading back home. But we move on to the matches that happened today on Wednesday, and let's talk about what do we want to start with?
Let's go Napoli.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I'm gonna be outraged about Arsenal. So let's start with Napoli and Barca. Another weird matchup. I did not like watching this game. First, let me just make that clear. I did not like watching this game. I hated all the Xavi cutaways. It wasn't just to play on the pitch. It was just I did not like Xavi managing. But it was just an ugly game. I mean, Barca had a few chances to start. I mean, Lamine Yamal had a beautiful strike. It was a great save. Napoli's keeper too. It was a Costa. Beautiful save by him. But it ended up being 1-1 at Napoli. Victor Osimhen scores the equalizing goal and then leaves the pitch. Subbed off. Just like Jacob drew it up. And
I've been saying Napoli's Osimhen and a bag of chips. That's literally the team.
Yep, I totally agree. So, you know what, Jacob? Since you say that, why don't you start off?
I just love how this game was just dictated by the two strikers. I mean, I know Lewandowski's not what he used to be, but he's still, I don't know, he's not a scrub, and he's still pretty formidable, if you ask me. And Victor Osimhen, who, is the light at the end of the tunnel of darkness for Napoli right now, who can't figure out who's supposed to be coaching their team. I guess forgot that they won the Serie A last year, or forgot what they did to do that. I didn't know that their old manager was Einstein, but because that's what it seems like. And yeah, I mean, another game, I really hate to toot my own horn, but another game I actually predicted right at the first leg. I think I predicted 1-1 in the first leg. I'm on fire with these first leg predictions. I think I had 1-0 for Inter Atleti, 1-1 for this, 1-1 for Eindhoven, Dortmund. If only I could predict our other games that in domestic cups or domestic leagues any good. But that's neither here nor there. The Osimhen goal, the defending that Martinez guy. I mean, just stay up. That's literally all you had to do was not attempt a slide tackle, and he wouldn't have scored that goal because Osimhen would have been like, "Oh, that was easy. Let me just put that in the back of the net." So I don't know. I mean, I was thinking about the 11 that I put out. What was it? He has why? I thought Pedri's a midfielder. Isn't he?
He is a midfielder, but I guess they didn't feel comfortable.
Why is he playing up top? I mean, I know João Felix stinks. Trust me, I know. But I mean, we're gonna put Pedri there.
I had an assist. I thought he had a good game.
Did this guy put Christensen as a midfielder?
Christensen's recently been playing as a number 6.
Yeah, but
I mean, who's their good number 6 is the question, I guess.
I was going to say Romeo.
Frankie Young's not a 6. He's
Christensen. They're playing Christensen as a midfielder.
I didn't watch how they played over the weekend, so I don't know how.
I hope he's a better passer than he used to be. Oh my god, that guy used to hate getting the ball. Oh my god, when he got the ball, it was like, hot potato, get rid of it. I don't want it. Ironically enough, he gave Messi an assist in the old Champions League game of Chelsea Barcelona, but that's neither here nor there. But,
Messi.
But I mean, yeah, he's playing Cancelo at left back, Koundé at right back. I mean, is Sergio Roberto that bad?
I don't know.
You guys know better than me. I mean,
they did pay a heavy fee for Koundé, so you got to play him somewhere.
I know, but isn't he a center half?
He's played right back for France.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, you know what? I'm not going to question Xavi, even though that's what you.
Oh,
that's what Andrew and Ricardo do every day.
Be careful here.
You can question him. We always do. Me and Andrew always do.
I don't know. I watch and I kind of feel bad for the guy because he has like the face of like the sad clown.
Well, here's the first thing I'm going to
Feel
question.
bad.
Here's the first thing I'm going to question is, yes, I know Lamine Yamal is my X factor. I don't think he should have played. I mean, I don't think he should have played. No, I'm sorry. I don't think he should have been. Sorry. For what I'm about to say next, I don't think he should have been the one to be subbed off for this. I would have played João Felix a little more if I were Xavi. 86
He's
minutes
out of the team lately.
late.
I don't know why.
Why is Rafinha on the bench?
Because Rafinha is not good.
I think coming back from an injury as well.
No, he's not good. I don't like.
Wasn't
Rafinha
that one of
at all.
Xavi's guys? I thought he
is one of Xavi's guys.
Guy.
That's what he says about everyone.
Former Leeds guy. Rafinha. But
overpriced.
No. But I felt like there was more way to insert João Felix because I mean I know he's had this little bit of a falling out with the club, but I mean I thought he's performed decently for them this season. He's definitely been better than his Chelsea half year last year.
I mean,
definitely much better than that.
He got sent off in his first game for Chelsea, so it can't get much worse.
So I just feel like there's a better way to set up this.
He also has
11.
3 goals and an assist in 6 Champions League games. So I don't know if that's counting today or not, but I mean, somebody said for that.
But my point is, I think Xavi stuck with the lineup a little too long.
When did he make his first
especially after the 80th
minute?
Oh my god! I hate when managers take forever to make changes. It drives me nuts.
Especially in a 1-1 game.
Yes,
where it's been ugly throughout. Like even the Lewandowski goal was ugly too.
Yeah, it's one thing if you don't have anyone on the bench and you're hamstrung by injuries and you really need to stick with the 11. But when you have options, it's a little like
it was just strange for me with Xavi. But anyways, yeah, I don't know.
I'll take a point of view from the opposite end. It's kind of bizarre that Napoli is now on their 3rd manager of the season. And it occurred 2 days before their Champions League match. And this guy's also managing a national team right now. And it somehow was agreed upon.
What?
I guess this is very similar to the Emma Hayes situation with the women's national team. Yeah, it's a very interesting situation. But I thought I saw this on my timeline. I didn't watch the game, and for one game being domestically, I had a lot of my focus on. But apparently, something that really changed the game in that last 25 minutes was subbing off Kvara for Lundstrom, the player they got from, I believe it was Frankfurt in the Bundesliga this summer. Apparently, Kvara was not very good today. You guys may have watched the game in full, but that's kind of been a theme throughout the season, which is kind of why I had him as my X factor, because you'd figure Osimhen's back in. That would draw some attention, give him some more freedom off the left. But apparently wasn't very good today, and Lundstrom was involved in that goal. I think he had the pass to Giza, who then fed Osimhen. So, this manager apparently is at least a little more proactive than Mazzari or Garcia, who apparently didn't even watch the team coming into his new job. So
it's like Mike McCarthy.
Don't get
I watched all the Cowboy games.
Yeah.
He lied. Then admitted he lied and nothing happened.
God damn it.
I'm sorry.
I love how that the Calzona news was reported too, because it was like Mazzari has been sacked. By the way, they have agreed upon to a deal with Francesco Calzona.
It's so bizarre.
Like it literally came at the same exact time. The sacking and then the hiring. It's hilarious. Almost as hilarious as the Roy Hodgson situation. Almost as hilarious.
They've done him so badly.
But anyways, neither here nor there.
Yeah, well, we'll see how the second leg goes in this one. I'm the only one who took Napoli, and I thought
Ricardo took.
No, I
mean,
took
did you
Barca.
or-
No,
Oh, you did?
everybody
Oh,
took
I
Barca
thought-
except me.
okay.
I feel okay from a Napoli perspective right now. Again, we've seen Barca have so many bad implosions at home. The Villarreal match is
That's
probably
not
the first one that comes to
You
mind.
don't also.
So I don't feel any better about Barca after this match. You know, you get a good result in Naples, but how consistent have they been? It's not good enough for me. So I don't know. This is, again, one of these matches and these ties where I think this could go either way still. That's how I see it. I know you guys are a little more in favor of Barca because Napoli have been maybe the biggest mess in Europe. So I don't know. I think this is going to be very interesting in the second leg.
I mean, Barca's up there for messes too, but
Yeah.
honestly,
but-
can we just settle this with like rock, paper, scissors? Like this is just this game, it like literally can go either way, but it's just like you guys, I don't know, the game wasn't that fun to watch.
No.
And Napoli was,
disgusting.
I mean, not much of a threat like attacking wise, and Barca, I mean, they didn't capitalize on their chances either with a few that they had, but oh man, this game is as mid as you could have written it up, honestly, even with everything going on. But it's just like there's nothing that intriguing about it. It's just like, yeah, you got Osimhen, you got Lewandowski. Barca probably has more notable players, but it's just like it just doesn't gel together. I don't know.
No, there's no juice.
No.
Yeah, there's no cohesive. I don't know, cohesiveness, whatever the word is to describe it. But it's just, I don't know, tactics strange. All the drama with Napoli's manager strange. It's just like I don't know. I just want this to be over because this is, even though it's like big clubs, and I also hate Barca, obviously. It's just like I just want it to be over with because this is just a mess.
You're gonna have to wait till mid-March. So
I'm just
also
hoping
think
Napoli
about it.
wins, but I still think Barca's gonna find a way. But I hope they choke, as they have shown they are capable of doing. I don't know. I just, this game is just annoyed me.
And I've said this for a while, but I despise those Barca away kits. Or the third kits, the yellow ones. Despise those kits. They are disgusting.
Yeah, they are.
Ugh.
Foul.
And the swooshes on the sleeve, just like, oh god, I hate that. But so I would have said that was like the ugliest game to watch all day.
Oh,
But
yeah, here we go.
You're right.
Side by side, I mean, this was the worst, I think, Champions League watching experience. Thank goodness I had the Liverpool Luton on as well, because that was actually kind of entertaining. Not for Christian. We'll get to that.
Won
We'll get to
4-1.
that.
He's got nothing to
Second half, but the first half
cry
was
about.
not entertaining, is what I'm saying.
Ooh, one bad half. Ooh, you must have
Stop
really
it.
been
Stop
suffering.
They really had us in the first half.
Anyways, they okay,
you,
we need
Ricardo.
context for that. We'll explain the context when we talk about Liverpool. We got to talk Porto and Arsenal though, because didn't Mikel Arteta just like tell these guys don't show up, like don't play?
I think he told them that like this we're actually redoing the FA Cup game against Liverpool.
It's a
This is
remake.
Newcastle. This is the Newcastle 1-0 loss where I'm going to cry about a call that was not even that bad that cost us a game.
But I mean, to be honest, they should have lost 2-0 this match. I mean,
The
No
chance
shots on
in the
target.
first half.
it hit both posts. A screamer that hits both posts. Oh my god! And then I was like that. I was scared from that point on. And of course, I have Arsenal winning the Champions League this season. Not as confident.
Over Bayern, right?
Over Bayern. That's right. That's right. Two of the worst.
That might be
performances
dead
from
and
big
done by the
clubs.
time we get to mid-March.
But at least I
From
picked
both point of
PSG.
views.
At least I picked PSG over Real Sociedad.
So did I.
Okay.
At least I did that.
But
But
hit me with
back
We don't need to
back
talk
to the,
about that.
back to the match. Christian's right. I mean, I like this was just no consistent attacking from Arsenal. You would have thought. I mean, they have that clear. I mean, come on, clear talent advantage over Porto. But it's just this was the definition of like heart and desire leading to a victory for a club. And I mean, Porto. I mean, goodness gracious, Pepe's still playing, and having a decent match as a center back.
Love that guy.
But like, I mean, how old is he now? I mean, God,
40.
God. But this was the worst game of the entire round of 16. Other than, I mean, if you're a Porto supporter, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that, I mean, God, I cannot imagine being Arsenal fan TV right now. I cannot imagine what they're saying over there.
I got to turn that on when we're done.
I cannot imagine. 7 years waiting for a Champions League round of 16 appearance like this, and it's just an absolute stinker of a first leg. We'll see what happens when they get back to the Emirates. They should. I still think they'll be favored. I mean, they got to be favored by.
They will, and they should be.
They should be.
Yes.
But they got a little bit of a hill to climb now, and we'll see if they show up. But I think I trust this group of players to come back, and we'll see if they can end up with at least a 2-0 win. But
we'll see how they deal with real pressure.
Yes.
You know, I think, they haven't been in a lot of spots like this. They're a young team. They haven't played serious. I mean, Champions League football. I know that they've been in Europa Leagues and stuff like that, but they haven't been in this kind of spot in a while. And I think today it probably showed that maybe the moment seemed a little too big for them. I mean, if they lose to Porto, that is like, talk about a letdown. I mean, with all the momentum they've had recently and all the talent that they have, this is a very favorable matchup for them to win.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they've done 1-0. I don't care. If they don't win that game at home, it's a tremendous letdown to me.
And also, don't forget, this is a club that bottled away the Prem last season too.
Good point.
So this will be back-to-back years of just absolute.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Just sadness.
I mean, Ricardo and Andrew, the way you guys feel about Barcelona and Atletico, that's how I feel about Arsenal. Okay, I hate Arsenal.
You should. Good.
I love watching. Them crumble. Even though I picked them because I try to take my bias out of it. I'm not going to be upset if they don't go through.
Very, very similar to Atleti for Ricardo.
Yeah, them too. I feel like I hate a lot of teams, the more I think about it, but. PSG. That's just how it is, PSG's in there too. Maybe City's getting up there, but no, going back to this game, like maybe Arsenal just overlooked Porto. Maybe that's what it was, because it just feels like they weren't as prepared. Like, what happened? You scored 10 goals in your last 2 games, and where did they go now? Like, you just crapped the bed. You just totally forgot how to score. I don't know. It was just such a. I mean, Porto, yeah, I think I saw a stat where it's like the ball was in play for like 50 minutes, which is ridiculously low. I mean, again, credit to Porto there for like really setting up well and not allowing much and just being scrappy. And what was it, 30-something fouls committed in this game too? I think
it was a record for a knockout game.
Yeah. So I mean, and then they got the goal in the end, which you could argue, Raya maybe could have been positioned better. I don't know. There's been some criticism there on his part because he was a bit far out.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say something like, why is he so like far out of the
off his
goal?
line?
Because if he's at the line, he can move better. Where because it wasn't like the guy hit it with a lot of power. I mean, it was tremendous.
With a lot of swerve.
A lot of swerve.
So nice to watch, though.
It was a tremendous goal. But I'm like, what are you trying to get the ball? I mean, I'm like, I don't know. You know what? I mean, this whole David thing's been a lot of karma to me. And I just wonder what Aaron Ramsdale feels watching a lot of these games, because I know Arsenal have been very good this year, I don't think David Raya's been that good. I just I'm not overly impressed.
He's not a
He's
reason why they're
fine.
good.
He's fine. The center halves are more the reason why
Right,
their
that's a good
defending's good, because they probably that's probably right now the best center half partnership in the world. If you ask me.
Yep, I agree.
On form, yeah. And I think I wanted to mention this too. There's just not a lot of experience at this level in the Champions League or really any knockout games in Europe. I mean, Pepe's got more Champions League knockout games than the entire squad combined.
You know,
an intimidator.
You know who has experience for Arsenal?
I don't know where you're
Say
going
it.
with this.
Say it.
Freaking Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
Kai Havertz and Jorginho. They were the only two players in the squad. If you had Gabby Jesus, that adds a third. But
I forgot.
None of these players have played in the Champions League knockout games.
Zinchenko,
Declan Rice won a Conference League last year, and these players, as you mentioned, Jacob, earlier,
that means nothing.
Played in the Europa League. It just doesn't, add up at the same level. And I think a lot of naivety in this game to me, and especially late. If they walked out of that game with a 0-0 draw, I feel pretty good from an Arsenal perspective. It's not an easy place to go.
You'd feel better.
The Emirates is not a place that a lot of teams, I don't think, go to and see themselves winning. And I don't know what Porto's record is in England, in the Champions League against all teams, but I would have to believe that they don't have a good record there. So I still think Arsenal are going to be fine, but there is a lot of pressure for a young squad that hasn't been in this situation in 7 years, as you guys talked about. So I don't feel like it's 100% certain because, Galeno, the guy that scored, has the most goal involvements in the competition this season, which shouldn't go under the radar. And I know Fab tweeted tonight about his release clause being raised, I think, to 60 million. So he's going to be a guy that's on the market in the summer that's going to be attracted by the biggest clubs. So they don't have elite talent, maybe, but it's a pretty good squad that's got experience. This club's got pedigree in this competition.
They have a lot of heart. You could probably say that about them. They have a lot of heart.
I just think Arsenal, Martinelli giving the ball away in that scenario is just unacceptable.
He's been so bad this year.
It's just been.
I don't know I don't understand why he's been this bad. Wasn't he great last year and pretty good the year before that? It's very weird, his form drop off. But I don't know. We'll see if he can figure it out at some point this year. The clock's running out.
Yeah, I just think giving the ball away in that scenario, trying to play it over, multiple defenders and trying to find, I think it was Odegaard and a second player. It was like a 2v1 on the opposite end. I get the aggressiveness to try to go find a winner late, but, losing the game like that is just unacceptable, especially when you work so hard to get a draw and a positive result. And I think Rice was also kind of at fault in that goal to me as well. He didn't close down Galeno. He was kind of just, giving him one way to go, which was towards the middle of the field. But you have to close him down and try to get a tackle in there to me. Of course, Raya probably should be closer to his goal line, but multiple players are at fault. I think Martinelli and Rice are certainly responsible for that goal. So Arsenal, that was probably one of their worst performances of the season, given circumstances. It just was. Where was Saka? Where was Trossard for his minutes on the field? I just don't think they showed up, and maybe they overlooked Porto. It was just not a good performance from start to finish.
I don't get how you overlook a club when you've waited so long to get to this point. That's what's so baffling to me with Arsenal right now. But like we've been saying, the Emirates is a tough place to play for a visiting squad. We'll see if Arsenal can turn it up there. Moving on from the Champions League. That's enough Champions League talk until maybe March. Maybe a little sooner. Thomas Tuchel. One of the many fraud managers in the world right now of club football.
Hey, what do you mean you won Champions League?
He's a fraud.
So did Roberto Di Matteo.
Thomas Tuchel, who at the beginning of the year said, "Hey Kane, nice to meet you," goes announces that he and Bayern have mutually decided to part ways at the end of this season.
Stupid.
I love this new trend.
Chobby.
No.
It's the
I'm
Chobby.
I'm fed up with it.
Yep, the Chobby. No, Ricardo, I do agree with you. It's just hilarious.
I mean, I like it from a Klopp perspective. At least I can soak it all
Well,
in.
that's the thing. These people think they're gonna. I mean, Xavi, he's a club legend. Sure, I can
Fine.
kind of see that. Fine,
He's one of the greatest players
Fine,
to ever
fine.
wear
Fine.
Barcelona
Totally
shirt.
different
but
spot.
Tuchel, this is insane to me. This is I
It's because they don't want to
Sporting-
do what they had to do last year. They don't want to do it again. They don't want to admit that they have egg on their
I'm
face.
just
From
like,
a financial perspective, it makes sense, but other than that, not really.
I mean, I never got. I get the financial aspect. From a footballing perspective, never got why they sacked Nagelsmann.
Didn't you? If I'm him, I just love the fact that he was at that game against that 3-0 debacle against Leverkusen. I imagine being him, he must have been laughing his what off the whole time.
The Sean McVay of soccer.
Let's pipe down a little bit.
Him and his flannels.
Well, it's funny.
Nagelsmann-
He loves Matt LaFleur. There's a YouTube video of him and Matt LaFleur talking about.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't
philosophies.
see that. I've never seen that.
So we can compare him to Matt LaFleur instead of Sean McVay. That'd be a little bit more
Anyways.
appropriate.
Yeah, but anyways, I never got. I mean, Tuchel was clearly just like a little placeholder hire, like all along.
He's like the
but-
new Mourinho.
I don't know about that. That
I don't mean that in a nice way, and I'm.
I still think that's a little harsh.
So-
Mourinho would have lasted 3 years.
No.
And
Then they'd be in 7th.
Oh my goodness.
In the final year, yeah, they would be, yeah. But after those 3 years, that's how it goes. That's how it's been going for Mourinho. So
At least Mourinho was just in a Europa League final, you know.
Yeah, Thomas Tuchel limped his way to a Bundesliga title.
Yeah.
shouldn't have won it. Dortmund blew
No.
it.
I still think it's so funny how Harry Kane left Tottenham to win trophies. He took the easy way out. He didn't go to Madrid. He didn't go to Man United. He went to Bayern Munich because he thought, oh, this will be easy. And they're not going to win anything. They're not going to win a single thing.
I love this. I love this so much.
Once a Tottenham man, always a Tottenham man.
He's cursed Munich.
He's just
But
he
It
really
rubs
is.
off like pixie dust.
Yeah. But I mean, like we've been saying, it doesn't help that Thomas Tuchel.
No,
is
I
the
know,
manager.
and this I just love all these Chelsea fans. Oh, we miss Thomas Tuchel. Really? I was happy we fired him
Do
then.
people not remember
I'm
when he
even
was?
mo-
Sorry.
He's overrated. He is a chaos builder. He rubs everyone in everyone's
Well
board
said.
the wrong way.
Yeah.
No one gets along with him. He's not fun to work with, obviously. He has, it's like you're on a ticking time bomb with the minute you hire him.
Do people not remember the Tukelaban memes? This club terrorist.
I mean,
Thomas
this
Tuchel?
guy, he's like a vacuum for attacking players as far as their talent. Oh my god. All he
Takes
does is take all the talent out of an attack, like all the skill out of an attack, and just makes them like 1-0 is good. That's the Thomas Tuchel philosophy.
No, I'm gonna miss. Oh, and his. I mean, it's funny. Him and Doc Rivers started whining at around the same
Oh,
time
God.
too.
Oh, his
Because
comments are terrible.
Thomas Tuchel he's
whining's
up there of
awful.
the best. He's up there of the best whiners in the sport right now. I think.
Oh.
And too bad him and Xavi are first ballot Hall of Fame whiners when it's all said and done. Wait 5 years, they'll be in the whining Hall of Fame. I don't know what to say.
I mean, look at some of these losses. They lost 3-2 to. I don't even know how to
Bochum.
say this.
That was
Bochum.
awful.
3-0 to Leverkusen.
Yeah.
1-0 to
lost
Werder
Lazio.
Bremen. What else? They lost
Barely beat
5-1
Berlin.
to
The
Eintracht
Frankfurt game was
Frankfurt.
dreadful.
I mean,
I mean,
ugh. They
I
lost
think
to Soccer Bruken, however the hell you say that. Forgive me.
is that at the Pokal?
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, they always lose now.
They can't even succeed in the cups that they're supposed to win. Everything was on a silver platter for this guy to succeed.
Tuchel,
Listen, Bayern, bring back Hansi Flick, and you'll be fine. He's
No, they
the
won't.
only guy in the last 7
I don't know.
years that actually had them stable, and he
It'll be
made the
better.
stupid
it'd be
mistake.
better. Yeah.
He made the idiotic mistake of leaving that when he had everything under control. Should have never even left in the first place. That was on his part a stupid decision, in my opinion.
Just sack him, please. Like, why? I just hate this trend.
And I also love the fact that Xabi Alonso is going to be up for 2 teams that he both played for at the minute.
Please not Bayern. Please not.
And I'm like, oh yeah, he did play for Bayern. I forgot. I'm like,
I mean, German outlets are kind of tipping him to be the Bayern manager.
it's all about what he wants. I mean,
Honestly, if I were him from like a neutral perspective, I would rather stay at Leverkusen than go to Bayern. Like
That's
given
what I'm
this given this situation right now, and I think he would want to see how his team could perform in the Champions League.
yeah, but they're gonna dangle that money in his face.
No, it's gonna happen. I mean, he's gonna wind up at Bayern.
Leverkusen. Let's not act like. Let's not act like Leverkusen doesn't have money now.
No, they do. I'm not denying that.
They're owned by a pharmaceutical company.
Yeah.
I know that. But again, I mean, Bayern, they'll use that whole, we loved you when you played here. They'll try and pull him with that. I mean, the Bayern, they just, it's like they love to, like, every young German manager, it's like, oh, it's time for you to graduate.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like, you're coming, no, whether you want to or not, you're coming on the trip. Yeah. That's kind of how they get their managers.
Prediction. Here's a fun one. Prediction on where Thomas Tuchel ends up.
Oh wow, that's a great question.
German.
What big European teams?
We can get creative for this one too.
I'm gonna try and keep an answer that I won't get in trouble for. Because I have some ideas of where he belongs, but
that's a great question. I'm trying to think of a big team in Europe.
Barcelona.
That's the number one.
That would be so funny.
That's what I was thinking.
And that's what you want.
Yeah.
Because I would love that too. That would be great. Please be my guest.
I get some Barca. If he really wants to manage, I know we mentioned Porto's manager. Also, Sporting might be losing their manager too. Ruben. What's his face? Arimon, I think it's Ruben Arimon.
I have a feeling that there's not going to be a job there's not going to be a job that he wants for a while.
Yeah,
and he can manage Napoli.
Oh God, please no.
He can make Victor
That's the
Osimhen
one big European country he hasn't managed in. He's been in Germany, England, France.
He'll get Victor Osimhen to score to go down to 15
Spain
goals
as
in all
well,
comps. That's what he'll do.
You know what would be actually hilarious? And now, low-key, I hope this happens, is if the German national team gets fed up with Nagelsmann.
And they
That's what I was about to say that.
They hire Tuchel to replace him.
I literally said that.
That would be terrible for them.
That'd be amazing. No, that'd be great.
Well, they're not going anywhere.
Thomas Tuchel's outfits. Oh, can't wait. Wouldn't wait.
Stupid ball cap.
He's mini Klopp.
He wishes.
Anyways, that's enough. That fraud doesn't deserve this much time, but it is funny to make fun of. It is fun to make fun of him. But speaking of making fun of people, Jacob, it's now your time to talk about Chelsea. It isn't the worst of circumstances. Come on, they drew Man City.
But Andrew, they had the game. They freaking had it. and they gave it up again. It's literally exactly what they did against Arsenal when they had a 2-0 lead, and the stupid, brilliant manager, let's take off all the attacking players. So once we give up the lead, we have no shot to go and win the game again. And that's exactly what he did. Let me go through this again. Let me pull up the substitutions so I get.
I didn't think we were going to get this much anger.
I know. Same. I was expecting
a
a
little
kind of
surprised.
happy Jacob.
No. As I said to my father when he's like, "Wouldn't you be happy with a 1-1 game?" I go, "Circumstance changes things."
He's a reasonable man.
Yeah, well, he was screaming about Luton Man United for like 70 minutes, and I kept on telling him, I go, "You won the game. You won the game. My team drew. What's better?" Like, but anyway, let's see. So he brings on Cesare Casade for Nicholas Jackson, a guy who's barely played against, and he's bringing on against Man City. Why? Don't you think if a guy's on a bike, learning how to ride a bike, and he's still got the training wheels on, shouldn't we take him out in the street against a crap team instead? Not Manchester City. Can he learn on the fly another time, please? Could we bring in Mudryk? I know he can't do anything except run, but Kyle Walker, for some reason, couldn't keep up with Raheem Sterling, who only wants to get up to play Man City, or when Southgate leaves him out of the team. That's it. It only has to be against Pep, or when Southgate leaves him out of the team. That's the only times he responds. And he played pretty good, even though, of course, what does Pochettino do? Let's take him out of the game, because that's exactly what we need to do. It's just, I will say this. If you want positives, I'll give you positives. The back line was very, very good. Axel Disasi and Levi Colwell, do not change it unless someone gets injured.
So you want to bring Thiago Silva back in? I love
Thiago Silva. He's 39 years old. He's 39. I mean, the only reason I want him honestly out there is because I want like a leader on the pitch. And he's not bad. He's just old. He just can't do it. He's not as good as he used to be. There's no shame in that. He's still, had a tremendous career. But Disasi, I thought he was tremendous. That's probably the best game he's played. And Levi Cole, when he plays when he plays center back and not left back, good things happen. If only we could have done this for the other parts of the season when he was being stupidly left at left back, which is not his position, and he kept getting exposed. All the brilliant manager had to do was put him at center back, and good things would have happened. And then you know what you see this from the Standard? Oh, PSG are interested in Levi Colwell. As soon as he plays his real position and he plays well, they're interested. If they would have been interested if he was playing that position the whole year. And then they loan off Ian Maatsen, who I think is playing very well for Dortmund ever since he got to the Bundesliga. Maybe he could have done that at Chelsea. Maybe. But I don't know. We never found out. I thought Malagusta was very, very good. For a guy who's a backup. You see, I just love the fact that when Chelsea sign guys for not a lot of money, they actually end up working. Cole Palmer, not a lot of money. Malagusto, not a lot of money. And guess what? He's actually good. Reece James, take all the time you need from your, severed off hamstring that will never be fixed.
No, at least you got to keep a left or right back now.
No, I know. And I think he's better than a lot of starting right backs in the league, to be honest with you. I think he's very good. I think he's pretty good going. He's very good going forward with
He's already got 4 assists in the league.
And he's very good with passing the ball. He should have had another assist. But, Nicholas Jackson, of course, had other ideas. But,
terrible.
I mean, but this is the problem. He does that, and then he gives that brilliant pass, which leads to that goal. Why can't you finish? Why? Just all I want is a striker who knows how to finish in front of the goal. That's all I want. And I can't have it. And it makes me sick. But the reason I'm so fired up at this game is that when you're the manager and you're so hell-bent on keeping a 1-0 lead that you take out your top three attacking players that, as far as the formation is concerned, and Jackson, Palmer, and Sterling. As a result of that, if you give up a goal, you hamstring yourself where it's so much harder to go and get the lead again because you have only one attacking guy out there. He's left on an island. I know that it's important to hold on and, play. I hate playing not to lose. That makes me sick. And he did the exact same thing against Arsenal, where he took out almost all 2 of the 3 goal scorers for defending, and it didn't work. And I know what people are going to think. Chelsea, they've had a tough year. Getting a result like this against Manchester City is really good. I want to win the friggin' game. Can we win the game? I'm sick and I don't want to draw games. I don't want participation trophies. I want to win. That's what I want. I'm sick and tired of this. They played hard. They gave it everything they had. Screw that. I don't want to hear that anymore. I want to win. And in my opinion, if you brought in Mudryk or Noni Madueke into that game with the pace that they had and the way City had trouble defending Chelsea with pacey guys like Jackson, Palmer, and Sterling, maybe, just maybe, they could have lucked into a goal. Another goal that could have given them the real win. So that's why I'm so fired up. Again, I am happy that they didn't lose. I thought they showed a lot of heart, a lot of fight. I thought defensively, it's one of the best games they've played the entire season. Again, they did get helped by the fact that Erling Haaland, for some reason, didn't know how to head the ball into the back of the net.
9 shots, no goals.
So,
Bizarre.
yeah. And they still couldn't take advantage of it, which makes me even more upset. But yeah, I mean, and also they would have been in 8th if they won that game, and instead they're in 10th. Think of what that could have done. I mean, if they're in 8th, then it's like, wow, they really are in it. But now they're in 10th again. It's like this is the just trajectory. We're going right. This is a straight line. It's like it just up and down, up and down. So yeah, I had a lot of emotions watching that game. I was so mad when Rodri, who now scoring goals, which makes him even more lethal of a player, pulled that one out late in the game. And this is, of course, after Pochettino takes out all 3 attacking players, which means that Chelsea have no shot to win the game, which makes it even more frustrating. Because I thought that prior to that, he was actually doing a good job of managing the game, and then he had to squander it with that, which, again, is frustrating. But yeah, I'm on to the Carabao Cup final. That's where my focus is. I don't know if we're going to get to that a little later when we do predictions. I don't know if you want me to save that for then to talk about how I feel about that game. But I want that damn trophy badly. Really badly. Like, I can't remember the last time I really wanted Chelsea to win a game. Like, I really want this trophy. But yeah, that's all I got.
Andrew, if I may.
Go on.
I just want to read out Gusto's stats because Jacob talked about him. I think he had maybe his best game in a Chelsea shirt.
I would agree.
Ending of Jeremy Doku. Jeremy Doku is a player that has caused all kinds of problems for players, particularly guys like Trent. Trent had a decent game against him when we played them, but I think Malo Gusto at 20, he had 9 ground duels won, most in the game. He had 7 recoveries. He had 3 tackles out of 4 that he won. So I think his defending is, gradually improving. And I've talked to you, Jacob. I think he's very underrated going forward as an attacking right back.
Yeah.
And if Reece James can't stay fit, you have a player who's capable of playing week in, week out. I think he's kind of showing that at this point. And right now, going forward, it seems like Reece James can't stay on the field. And if that's the case, I think Malo Gusto is a very good right back who is going to quickly rise up the ranks, both for France, and I think he's going to quickly become one of the more under the radar right backs in the Premier League, because I think that game is all the proof you need of what he can do defensively. And again, if he can give you assists and he's, putting good balls into the other opponent's box, I think that's all you can really ask for from an attacking right back. So I think Malo Gusto's quietly rising up the ranks from that position.
I think he's got a shot to start for France soon, because right back's not a position that they're very strong at, if I'm not mistaken. It's not a position of strength. It hasn't been for a little while. Even when they won the World Cup, they had Pavard there, who I know scored that incredible goal and played well, but he's not a natural right back anyway. So to me, I think that spot is up for grabs in the French team.
Yeah, I mean, right now,
it's probably Koundé and Pavard are the two options there for them.
Well, their last Euro qualifier was Jonathan Klaus, who plays for Marseille.
Having a pretty good season there. I know he's been there at Marseille for a while. But
yeah, he's been starting recently for them. Looks like.
I think Malo Gusto can get himself into the mix. Maybe not for the Euros, but if he's not, I would not be surprised if he's at the World Cup in 2026. Given that, Klaus is probably over the age of 30 now.
He's 31.
Okay, so I mean, if he can compete with Pavard and Koundé, I mean, maybe he's in these states in 26.
Yeah. Jacob, I would not be so harsh on Chelsea. Man City, this is the story of Man City, especially this year, it seems like. They turn it up from the 70th minute on. It happened again.
You are right about that.
It happened again yesterday.
Earlier, yeah.
So, I mean, I wouldn't be so down if I were you. I would take the points and move on.
I just don't like it when the manager takes it out of the team's hands to win the game.
And I get
so
that.
annoying.
I get that. That's valid.
Can you want to win the friggin' game, please?
That's valid.
Like it makes me so annoyed. It's like,
I think they still could have won it too.
Draw.
Even with the players on the field, because I mean, and Nkunku got that half chance late. I know it was very difficult. He had to quickly turn, and he was off balance. But I honestly think, from a neutral perspective, Poch got the game pretty right. At least, I mean, if you want to argue about the subs, that's okay. But I think from minute 1 to minute 65, I think he got that as good as any manager really at.
No, I do agree with that.
Because almost everyone goes there and has an awful day from start to finish. I know they've had some results, as you mentioned, Andrew, where they kind of pick it up from the 70th minute on to survive and, manage to get 3 points when it seems like they're going to get 1 or even 0. But I think Chelsea, from the perspective of, playing off the counter, I mean, they had so many good chances that maybe they should have scored 2 or 3 in the first half. But I think from a perspective of set the team up and the goals they had in mind, to really be defensive and kind of hit them on the counter, I think that's kind of how they should treat the game on Sunday. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I think if he does that on Sunday, that sets them up well to cause Liverpool some problems.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Liverpool, let's get right into their discussion right now. Of course, they played today. They won 4-1. Without looking at a score sheet or anything, 4-1 is about what you would expect for Liverpool against Luton, and you would think, okay, nothing went wrong. But this really was the definition of a tale of two halves, this match. And Christian, why don't you talk about their injury issues right now?
Yeah, so on Saturday, they lost Diego Jota for what seems like most of the season, if not all. Klopp's kind of talked about it as months. Had a player land on his knee really awkwardly. It looked like his whole body weight. And that's a big miss. I think he's their most clinical forward. And the team's much better off when he's in there. And I think Curtis Jones is a huge miss too. And he's been one of the unsung heroes of the team, especially in the midfield, because Szoboszlai's been in and out of the team with injuries. McAllister had a problem at one point. Endo went to the Asian Cup. Jones has been there every single time he's been needed. Scored some big goals. Had a goal, I think, in the Carabao Cup semifinal against Fulham. He scored in that big match on New Year's Day against Newcastle. So the injuries are piling up. And they survived today, especially in the first half. It was just dreadful. Luton, who have been very inconsistent on the road, just were creating problems going the other way. Looks like Liverpool's defense was all over the place. They were just getting, beaten behind, just very sloppy. And, of the positions that are dealing with injuries, that's the one that's got the least problems. They got both left backs back. The only player that's really, in their best 11, I guess, is Trent, who's going to be back kind of soon, it appears, but who knows at this point. I just think Liverpool today were very bad in the first half, and they picked it up thanks to an Anfield crowd that was really ramped up in that second half. I don't know if this game was on the road, we'd get the same result, but I'm worried. With 4 competitions, including Sunday, it feels like this squad is trending in a bad situation at the moment. They don't really have a bench that's capable of, making an impact in games. If Sunday comes around and Darwin Nunez and Mohamed Salah are not available, their bench options are Andy Robertson if he doesn't start, Simicast, a lot of teenagers. So Jacob's feeling good about Sunday potentially.
Well, no, I mean, so take the weekend off.
Typical Jacob.
Oh, excuse me, what?
Trying to freeload off injuries.
Excuse me. I want my.
he's got bad too, so I'm not going to act like Liverpool's doing injuries.
I mean, any chance my team can get, I want, because that's what they need. I hope they all take the week. I hope there's some tournament that I don't know about that people have to report to, so that we can get more of them out. Just I'm not wishing for them to be injured. I'm just saying, like, hey, if you can't play, you can't play.
That's great.
That's one way to look at it. What I will say is the biggest miss is Alisson, which he's going to be out till I think the end of March. He's going to miss Brazil's international window. That's the biggest problem to me. They can handle, a forward missing or two because they have Gakpo and Diaz is coming to form. But Kelleher's not at the same level or anywhere close to what Alisson is. And today probably could have done better with the goal that was scored by Luton in the first half. Kind of went under his legs. Maybe not, and then maybe that's a little harsh, but it's pretty evident there's a gulf in class between those two. Alisson's arguably the best keeper in the world, and Kelleher is a solid number 2 who could maybe start for some teams at the bottom half of the Premier League, but it's going to be tough for them to stay first in the Premier League, win on Sunday, continue to progress in the FA Cup, which I know they have a game against Southampton, I believe, early next week. So a concern level, if you ask me, a level of 1 to 10, given the absentees, probably a 6 or a 7, because the players they're missing are very important. Alisson, Trent, Jota, Jones, Szoboszlai is missing right now, Trent. So it's a difficult task to see this team, maintaining their eligibility in 4 competitions. Obviously, one's going to be wrapped up Sunday. I think it's going to be a very difficult game. But I think if I'm worried about any competition, it's got to be the Premier League. That Manchester City game's coming around the corner in early March. That's going to be a game they have to win, it feels like, to ultimately win this league. So, yeah, I'm really concerned. Today was okay to get through that, but you're not going to face Luton every week. So they're going to have to play a lot better against the bigger teams in the league and in the Europa League if they truly want to, potentially win multiple trophies this year.
Few things. Luton, very respectable performance from Luton Town.
Mm-hmm.
They've been playing so much better as of late compared to the start of the season. I say this as a team who recently lost to Luton Town at Luton Town. I was shown the video at work of a vlog from Luton at the beginning of the season where the literal line to get into the stadium was extended out to this person's backyard. Just I love that structure in Luton. But 2 other things, little subtle brags here. pregame, I had suggested at work Liverpool money line, but both teams to score. I predicted a 3-1 win.
Oh, you're making money for people.
That was plus 125 parlay. Easy money. That hit. Halftime, Liverpool dropped to minus 140 favorites when they were down 1-0. Told everyone to hammer that. Want people some more money. So, point is, listen to me.
Hey, based off Jacob's predictions, you got to listen to him too.
Listen to me.
Only
listen
with the Champions League.
That's all I'm saying.
No.
That's all I'm saying. Paul, I think Christian has a point because now you got to listen to me because Real Madrid. 1-1 against Rayo Vallecano. Here's my thing. If we didn't sweep Girona this season, I'd be more worried. But we won both matches. I am not concerned. I don't think. And Ricardo sent in his thoughts before he had to leave. He has an early day at work tomorrow, so please don't diss Ricardo. But Ricardo had basically the same thoughts as me. If they didn't beat Girona, I'd say this last go around, I'd be much more concerned. But I don't think Girona could catch up. They've been kind of slowing down as of late. Anyways, I don't think Barca can catch up behind or Atletico.
It's kind of crazy to think that they're 2 points off of Girona. It's the most quiet thing ever.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the table.
I know they're 8 points back of Madrid.
They're 8. I know that 8 points back of Madrid right now.
Which, it seems ironic.
But
given their
season. Barca is 8 points back. Atletico is 11 points back. Which is kind of crazy to think about too. Atletico being 11 points back, you would think it would be much closer considering how we've praised them. But I don't think anyone can catch up to Madrid at this point. So I was fine with the draw. It was weird, anyways. Weird circumstances. It came after the Champions League match last week at Leipzig that they ended up winning 1-0. So that was definitely a factor. Rodrigo didn't start this match. We had Fran Garcia playing left back. For God's sakes. So
sound the alarms.
Yeah. So the fact that it was only 1-1 is it's a masterpiece.
And you had a Joselu up top.
Well, Joselu scored almost right away, which was hilarious.
He was done for the rest of the game.
Right. Joselu. My opinion of Joselu is definitely more favorable at this stage of the season. It's almost like Jacobs.
It's like Nicholas Jackson.
No, I think he's playing better than Nicholas Jackson right now.
Nicholas Jackson is the best bad player I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, he's like Darwin of last year. That was I compare.
That's
I wouldn't go that far, but
in a good way or a bad way.
Well, I think Darwin's a much better, so much more raw talent.
Oh, I know, but last year, this is very similar. Just missing chances, but has the pace to get in behind.
As does Rasmus Højlund.
I digress.
Rasmus Højlund has been on a heater lately. But yes, sorry, go on.
Oh, good. I was clearing my throat anyway, so I would have actually liked you to keep going. But honestly, I'm not that concerned with this matchup. Carvajal got a red card near the end of the match.
That's not good.
So that's not good, especially if that's going to mean our boy Lucas Vazquez playing some more.
Very thin at that position, Real Madrid. I've noticed that right back there. It's really
that whole entire back line is very thin right now.
That is.
I wouldn't be shocked if we get some Camavinga minutes.
He's suspended.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yellow card.
He got a yellow card. Yep, forgot about that completely. Yeah,
Fran Garcia.
More Fran Garcia, but overall, not that concerned. Ask me 2 months ago, I would have been more concerned. But at this stage of the season, I think Real Madrid will finish the story. They'll finish the job. Another La Liga title, easy money. But that's just me. And I think Ricardo thinks the same way. But
Girona, as you mentioned, are slipping. They lost till Bilbao on Monday night. It was a very even game, but that was a missed opportunity for Girona because they would have been able to close within 3 points. would have made it a little more manageable. 6 feels like that's too large of a gap at this point.
Yeah, no. And I mean, especially with no head-to-head matchups this point forward, rest of the season, I think Girona's story, but they'll get a Champions League berth next season. I still believe that. I don't think they're gonna fall. I don't think they're gonna fall that dramatically in the table, but I did expect this slippage to come at some point with this type of club, and here it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, they're gonna win La Liga, and day by day, my belief in them in Champions League is growing and growing. When I thought they would probably be out in this, and I said it a few weeks ago on the podcast, I was like, this screams a quarterfinal or semifinal exit for Real Madrid this season with this roster. But like I said, Ancelotti's doing a hell of a job managing this team through
I completely agree.
Injuries. I mean, Nacho had another just below average performance at center back. Tchouaméni's doing a wonderful job, by the way. I love Aurelien Tchouaméni. Man, I wish he could be playing the 6 right now, but like he is a damn fine center back. So I mean, we need him right now to play the way he's playing. So I just hopefully Rudiger could come back somewhat healthy. Hopefully Jude can come back for the next Champions League matchup with Leipzig. But yeah, it's just injuries of Madrid. Just injuries.
What teams would you, if I may ask, what teams right now would you say are better in the Champions League if you were to say they were to match up right now over Madrid?
Manchester City.
Inter?
Would you take Inter over Madrid right now?
I would take Inter over Madrid right now. If they're facing this version of Madrid, yes, I would take Inter.
Fully fit though, you would lean Madrid.
Fully fit, I lean Madrid. Absolutely.
But Real aren't going to be fully fit for the rest. I mean,
that's the point. That's the point.
I guess the question.
I know what you're saying. It's just like
Yeah, fully fit. I mean, if we're talking like Militao's coming back and everything,
Courtois.
Yeah. I mean, come on, but no, I think Man City and Inter are the two teams I'm worried about if I'm Real Madrid.
Cool.
And I think they'd match up decent. They'd give Inter a fight. I think, and to be fair, they give Man City a fight too. But like, I don't think it'll be as close with Man City. I think Man City right now are the clear favorites in the Champions League. Inter just has right now a stronger back line. We just saw one of the grittiest performances of the season from them against Atletico, who, Atletico has, played Real Madrid very well this year.
I was going to say, are you at all worried that if Real got matched up with Atletico at some point down the line, would you be worried about playing them again?
Yes.
That's another team to me that like they know how to play Real.
I just think at this point Inter will get past Atletico, but I would absolutely be worried if they played. To be honest, I'd be more worried if they played Atletico
than Inter.
Than Inter. Okay. Just because it's a
derby. It's because they know them rather than
that's fair.
This would be the
Inter is a better in my opinion. Inter's a better team.
I agree.
Atletico, but
if they played Atletico again in a knockout stage, that means 6 times they'll have played each other in total this season. So
that's crazy.
6 times. So I would so be worried about Atletico, especially with Real Madrid not being fully fit. They would not be able to stand Simeone's squad. But and especially for without Jude, oh my god. Say goodbye to those chances. But right now, Man City, Inter, I think Inter would be I could see if it matched up with Inter, I could see penalties for that.
Okay.
The second leg, but Man City would probably be. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm not guaranteeing anything right now, but overall, I feel good with Real Madrid. I'm not upset about a draw. It's not like we had a close race to the top right now, at this very moment. So Yeah, it's just whatever. Especially, like I said, after a Champions League performance where they won that same week. So it's who cares? They got a point. Moving on. Okay, boys. Do we want to go through our weekend predictions first?
I want to give a shout out to Man United.
Okay. Go ahead.
They've won. They haven't lost in 2024. I know that. I just want to make sure I get this right. They've won how many games in a row? They've in a row. They've won 1, 2, 3, 4. They won 5 in a row, and they've gone unbeaten in their last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. And they're 3 points away from Tottenham for
slipping.
5th. We're slipping. I know.
Mhm.
I'm telling you. I told you back in December. Tottenham slippage is coming.
Did say it.
And their next couple games are against Fulham at home, and then Nottingham Forest, who is the last team that beat them, ironically enough, in the FA Cup.
Mhm.
And then they get City to start March. Now imagine if they win those next 2 games and then they got City. They're on that now. That makes that I know City have had their number, even though I think they split last year. They've had their number in that regard, but God, that make the derby so much more interesting. Rasmus Højlund's on fire right now. He can't stop scoring goals. However easy some of them are, he's still scoring goals, and that's what they signed him to do. And he seems like he's getting so much more comfortable and confident. I feel like Ten Hag is starting to figure out what his best 11 is. I don't think Casemiro's been great. He's been not great, bad with the ball. His passing's been really poor. He's been a lot of fouls.
They're just lucky they got a good number 6 next to him.
Yeah, Manu, I think he's been really good for someone that age. I think he's done pretty solid. He's not great, but I think there's a lot of room to grow. And I think McTominay's become the super sub, and I think he's been better off in that role than starting. And I think why would you change it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So the back line's been a bit better. Varane, I don't think has been great ever since he came, but since he's gotten back in the team, I don't think he's done himself a lot of favors as far as Ten Hag. I think he's it's sort of been like justifiable of why he was on the bench for as long as he was. Maguire, who's certainly been better. I think a lot of people been best season in a year or two. And they'll probably never be worth 80 million, but he's been more than serviceable in my opinion. Garnacho, I've been saying Garnacho's like the puppy dog that just needs to be trained. He's just a little wild. He does stuff where you're like, oh, why can't you do that? Oh, so close, but not so close. But there's certainly a lot of talent there, and I think United can certainly get. I don't think them getting in 4th is out of this realm at all. I think it's very possible.
Crazy because when we talked about this,
I know we've been saying
we were all just like
now again. United have done
this
this many times over the years.
Yep.
They've gone through these really good periods where they can't lose. They always tend to happen in the second half of a calendar year or early in the next year, whatever it is. And then they fall apart where they have some stupid loss against a bad team and they don't finish strong. We'll see what happens. But right now they've been getting the job done. It's not pretty. They don't really play this free flowing, fun attacking football, but they know how to they know how to win. And that's what they just need to do. They just need to keep winning, stacking up W's. And listen, I think Aston Villa have been very beatable of late. They have not been that great of late. It seems like they just can't. They just haven't been very clinical lately.
After a good December.
Yeah, and Tottenham, they lost to Wolves, who are not a bad side at all, but they did lose to them. And it just seems like ever since they had that injury nightmare against Chelsea, they have not been the same team. And I said that earlier. I said that watch, this is going to really affect them throughout the rest of the year. There's no that at that point they still could have won the title. They're not winning the title this year. They had a very good season, but the title is definitely out of the realm. But I think United have a really good shot to get to the top 4.
Yeah, no,
It's coming to nowhere too.
Yeah, I mean that. Hey, the advantage of not drawing much either. Win or lose, but as of late, it's been winning for Man U. Also,
one thing I will say. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Is it's going to be about Man U?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
The one thing I will say, if they aren't to finish in the top 4, I think the reason would be their injuries at the back. Luke Shaw is done for a while. That's a big miss for them because Malacia hasn't played at all this season. They let Reguilón go back on loan, who's now at Brentford. So their alternative is Lindelof out of position, which is really not an ideal thing for them. I think that's going to be my one concern.
He's fine defensively. He can't do anything going forward.
Which that's fine, and I agree with you. I think he's okay defensively playing out of position. The thing that affects is Rashford at his best in his United days is when Luke Shaw's been able to get forward and overlap and just create space. Lindelof's not going to do that for them, which, that's fine. I think that's what it'll affect Rashford more than it'll affect the defense. And that's okay. I think Rashford's been a little bit better since the whole fiasco with going out.
A little. Not much, but a little.
Which I guess isn't saying much because we've seen him at much higher levels. But I think if United wants to finish in the top 4, they need others to contribute with goals, not just Højlund. Because, at some point, it's not going to just be goals every game from Højlund. You need Rashford. Bruno's going to have to come up with some goals. Garnacho's been good, but can he give them more final product? Defensively, I think that's where I'm worried. Shaw and Lisandro Martinez being out really hurts them because those are both players that would be in their best 11. But as you guys have mentioned, Spurs inconsistent, Villa inconsistent. So there are opportunities there, and I think the run-ins okay. There's obviously some big matches remaining, as you mentioned, Jacob. They got to play City on the road. That's on March 3rd. But if they can get through some tough periods, the gap is very within reach now. So that's not something we expected 3 weeks ago. But with the team struggling above them, I would think it's very possible at this point.
Yeah, and changing topics, I cannot be remiss. We forgot to talk about Brighton. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you. Dude, how do we forget about talking about Brighton? Dude, 5-0 over Sheffield. 5-0.
Yeah.
Hey,
let me tell you, they won.
Let me tell you this. They needed this. Everyone was back. This is after AFCON. Simona Dingra wins AFCON.
2 goals.
A brace against Sheffield. He is in the form of his life right now after winning AFCON. I mean, Toma's been back the past few weeks, but, him being back has helped dramatically pushing forward. Bonanote this past month has looked a lot better, at least offensively. He's been scoring a lot more as of late, it seems. And hey, I mean, I don't know. It's just I hope, and of course, I mean, Danny Welbeck scored, but I hope. I just want to see some consistency.
Yeah,
I want to see some consistency out of Brighton. Brighton is just not consistent. They'll score 5 goals one week, then the next they'll get shut out by Luton Town. It's just you never know what you're going to get. Now, I get this past month and a half from injuries, and the Asian Cup and AFCON really screwed Brighton too, losing Mitoma and Adingra. So having everyone back, maybe getting people back from injury as well.
João Pedro would be nice to get back soon.
João Pedro soon, hopefully. I mean, Ansu Fati's kind of lost his favor from the Zerbi. He's missed some great chances over the past month, some sitters even. One that comes to my head is against Spurs. Oh my god. But not going to talk about that one. But could have won us the match. other than that, I mean, I just want to see what this team can do for the next month. With
Favorable running.
Yeah, and they've been in a favorable. That's the thing. That's the thing that frustrates me of Brighton right now. They've been in a favorable schedule for the past few weeks, but you lose to Luton Town.
That was a big setback.
You lose to Luton. God.
If you go a step further, they drew against Wolves.
They drew Wolves, right? That was the 0-0. God, they had 2 0-0 performances
at
in
that
the first
point.
month. Yeah, they beat Palace 4-1, if I remember, which was a massive win. And this is what I'm talking about too. They'll have a great performance against a club like Palace. Some below average mid-table club. You'd be like, okay, maybe this will boost their confidence going to next week, and then they lose an absolute devastating match against Spurs, who, as we just talked about, are not playing that great. And this was a fully, almost fully fit Spurs too. But it's just next they got Everton, who we'll discuss in our predictions. But I feel like Everton is a must win. Everton is a must win. I will not accept a draw. I will not accept a loss against Everton.
This game screams draw to me.
We're playing at the Amex. If it were at Everton, I would say draw. And Jacob, you know me. I've said of Brighton all year, this game screams draw. This at the Amex is a must-win for Brighton.
Had a lot of drawn games. A lot.
A ton.
The fascinating thing is Everton are much better on the road this season. They rank 9th in the Premier League among away points.
Did not want to hear that.
So,
but we'll see. I mean,
sorry to spoil your party, but
Solly March should be coming back soon too. And Ciso should be coming back soon. James Milner he got hurt. We'll see what happens with him. God bless James Milner. I can't believe we're talking about Pepe still kicking. James Milner kicking is crazy to me.
What is he, second in all-time Premier League appearances?
Yeah, it's insane, and he's been feels like everywhere too. It feels like, but
Leeds,
Liverpool.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah,
Villa.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's wild, but God bless James Milner. Hopefully he's okay. And I'm telling you, he's still playing well. James Milner is still playing well at his age, it's great. And he's been the utility piece. He's been a budget older Camavinga. for Brighton.
What a line!
He's the Brighton Camavinga. It's James
just
Milner.
At the age of 38.
At the age of 38, he's played left back. He's played center back. He's played center attacking mid. He's been a 6. He's played like left mid, right mid sometimes when the Zerbi wants to get crazy. Like it's just it's wild to me. And now with the rumors of the Zerbi potentially leaving after this season, who knows? Maybe one rumor I saw was they're looking at the guy I mentioned from Sporting before.
What would you do if Brighton got
I was about to ask.
Tuchel?
They won't get Tuchel.
But no, that's not the question. What if
Graham Potter?
Oh, if they got no,
Bring him back.
They're not bringing Graham Potter back. We're not
do it for Graham. Do
it for Graham.
I love Graham.
Let's bring in Roy Hodgson. Let's do that.
They might as well bring back Graham. In all honesty,
whatever.
Could do a lot worse.
Yeah. No, and that's true. That's true. And Graham has had his experience at Brighton, in decent years. It wasn't like nothing. There, De Zerbi's definitely
blocks for what
right
is now.
Right,
an extra step forward.
I would even. I just wish Brighton would spend some money. That's my thing.
And they have money to spend.
That's the point. They have the money to spend, and it's not like their owner is, it's Tony Bloom has won all his money.
Bob Nutting.
He's won all his money gambling in poker. and he has a ton of money. He has a ton of money to spend, and not just that, he's getting so much money from rip-off deals like Moises Caicedo to Chelsea, 115 million. Like
Don't
use
forget
that
Cucurella.
reinvest in the team.
Don't get
Now-
me started on those
now-
two. Oh my god, they make me
and
so
Mark
angry.
Cucurella, dude, and I'm very interested to see how Valentin Barco plays coming in from Argentina. So we'll see what happens there. But hopefully, I want to see them spend some money this summer. And the rumor coming out of Brighton is that they're going to spend. So because they see themselves as a top half Premier League club at this point, which I mean they should be. So let's see what happens. And I'm feeling okay about Brighton. And they'll play Wolves in the FA Cup soon, so they got to beat Wolves. Anyways, let's do some weekend predictions. First off, I mean, since we mentioned Brighton, we're talking about Brighton right now. Let's talk about Brighton Everton.
2-1 Brighton. There's my prediction. 2-1 Brighton.
I was gonna say 3-1. 3-1 Brighton.
2 apiece.
Getting frisky. Getting frisky with me. I'm telling you, if it's a draw, I'll be very upset. Now Everton,
Andrew's rant of the week.
It will become Andrew's rant of the week. Now Everton, we'll see. Maybe their appeal comes back. The result of their appeal comes in before then. Maybe they get some points back. If that's the case, who knows? Maybe they play with a little less urgency. Who knows? You never know. But we'll see with that. I'm going to say 3-1, though. Bayern and RB Leipzig.
He's too cool.
I actually think this is going to be a Bayern pick-me-up. I actually think they're going to put out one solid performance against Leipzig out of nowhere.
1-1.
Because
this game screams 1-1 to me.
There we go. Screams 1-1. I love that.
That means it's going to be 3-4 nothing Bayern.
I was going to say 2-0 for Bayern. I think this will be the perfect pick-me-up for them. They need this. I talk about Brighton needing a must-win. This is and I know Leipzig is a great club, but this is a must-win mentally for Bayern. They have to. They have to.
Especially in context when you consider that Leverkusen hosts 17th place Mainz this weekend.
Yes.
So you would argue I already think it's done. I don't see Leverkusen dropping points in what would it be 3 matches to even have a chance.
I agree with that.
Can you imagine if Bayern somehow won the league? They'd be like, "Oh, Tuchel, you can stay."
Because Leverkusen bottles it, just like Dortmund did.
No way.
Tuchel, you should stay. That'd be hilarious.
They're like 34 games unbeaten this year in all comps.
You never know. You never know.
I guess you never.
Ask Mini Mike McKell.
In terms of this game, I'll go 3-1 Bayern. I also agree with you, Andrew. I think they'll put out a better performance. Leipzig have been up and down. We've talked about that in Champions League preview. I think they're going to have some trouble on the road.
Yeah, Leipzig having the resort to goalie interference, hockey goalie interference to try to score. So no faith in them right now. Real Madrid and Sevilla this Sunday. I always hate playing Sevilla, but thank goodness Sevilla is not that good this year. I'm going to say 2-0. 2-0 Real Madrid. I don't know. Sevilla's just not good. Not good. But
1-0 Real Madrid.
I could totally see a 1-0 result as well.
I'll go 2-1. Change it up. 2-1 Madrid. They're not going to lose at home. Not to Sevilla.
No.
Terrible.
And lastly, the main event, the moment you've all been waiting for, live from Wembley Stadium. It's the Carabao Cup final between Christian's Liverpool side. Will he be walking alone? We'll find out. And Jacob's Chelsea, his favorite soccer team in the world.
In his favorite
Chelsea.
competition.
In his favorite, the Bull energy drink competition that is not Red Bull.
I've wanted this since we started this podcast. I've wanted this since we beat Brighton. I believe then. I'm all in.
We've established Jacob loves his Mickey Mouse cups. He loves the summer. He loved winning the summer Prem title. He loves that.
One. We won the first one.
And now he's gonna love attempting to win the Carabao Cup. But here, I'll go first since you don't want to hear what I have to say. It's gonna be 1-1 penalties.
No, I can't do this again. I can't take it anymore.
Liverpool wins 5-4 on penalties.
I swear to God, if this goes to penalties again, I am going to. I'm gonna go Frank the Tank.
All right, Frank, go first.
Oh.
No, you go first.
No, Christian, you gotta go first. You gotta go first here.
I have a big promo to cut. You go first.
This screams extra time to me, not penalties. And I think if this game goes to extra time, I lean Chelsea.
Don't you dare do this. Don't you? No.
I'll take Liverpool anyway.
I don't want him picking Chelsea.
No, the fact that he put it out.
You don't want me to, then I will.
No. I mean,
the fact that Christian simply put it out there is already a reverse jinx curse on Chelsea.
I swear to God, if this game goes to extra time, I can't take it. No.
I do think that Chelsea has a stronger bench at the moment, assuming Salah and Nunez are in question. So
okay, Doc Rivers.
Oh, don't compare me to
him. Can we get Doc Rivers to coach this game, please?
Oh, jeez. For which team?
Not my team.
I told Klopp that, wait on Darwin. He'll show up next year. I told him, wait on him. I know this kid's gonna score.
2-1 Liverpool in extra time.
Jacob, cut your promo.
It's been hard. It's been tough. It's been at times excruciating, painful, pathetic, embarrassing, disrespectful. All of that can go away this weekend. All of that can be washed down the toilet, can be washed away if you win this final, this trophy, the one and only Carabao Cup.
Sure is the only.
How many times do we have to lose to Liverpool in cup finals? For it can't be acceptable anymore. The time has come. It ends now. And it will end now. I am picking Chelsea to win 2-1 in regulation, boys and girls. It's going to be Christopher Nkunku coming off the bench, scoring the game-winning goal. As John Champion beautifully describes it, as Nkunku swings his shirt around as he takes it off, as he earns his de facto, as me and Andrew would say, earns his pinstripes, winning the Carabao Cup final. Again, a trophy that Tottenham won't be able to, won't win this year. Another trophy Tottenham won't win because that's what they never do is win trophies. And that would mean Mauricio Pochettino, who is a very mid-manager, already has more trophies with Chelsea than he did at all with Tottenham. So, yes, this is important. Liverpool, who is it? Salah may not play. Nunez may not play. Alisson's not going to play. Christian, you tell me who else isn't going to play.
Trent, Jota,
Jones,
Jones,
boys, it's there. It's It's time to strike while the iron is hot. The time is now.
As Jurgen Klopp proceeds to pull down his cap.
Aren't you
tighten it.
sick and tired of that clown doing that stupid fist bump? Because I am.
It's trademarked.
Yeah, I don't give a
Jacob,
damn.
if you had a message for Poch, what would you tell him?
Step on their freaking throat. But just Moises Caicedo, I swear to God, if you commit some stupid yellow card outside the box, oh my God. And want the ball, please. Moises Caicedo, want the ball. Can you want the ball, please? And not get scared when it's coming your way. You know what I mean? For someone with all this money, could you handle the ball, please? But no, it's funny. Even though I want Nkunku to start, part of me wants him to come off the bench because I know Pochettino won't let him play 90 minutes yet. So, and he'll probably go with the same 11 he did against City. I honestly think he should. But I'm telling you, this is going to be Christopher. I don't know who's going to score the first goal. Maybe it'll be like a header from like off a corner from Axel Disasi. I'll pick him because he already scored against Liverpool this year. And then my guy, Christopher Nkunku, will score the game-winning goal in the 85th minute. And John Champion, who better be calling this game, ESPN.
I can already hear the call. It's
And Nkunku!
He has his shining moment in blue. You could say, Stuart Robson, that he has earned his pinstripes tonight.
A lot of times sitting down due to injury.
What a strike from Nkunku.
It'll be like when Moochie scored his first goal.
Look at this ball from Enzo Fernandez. Perfect position. Good touch. Good strike on the ball.
I want to score a goal like the one he scored against Liverpool at Anfield when he put it through Van Dijk's legs. That'd be nice.
I already see Jacob's pep talk to Poach.
I want this game badly, boys. It's like when Travis Kelce's like, I wanted the Super Bowl more than any before. That's how I feel.
Listen to everybody. Nobody believes in you. What are you prepared to do about it? Don't let no one come into your house. Take your meal. Do what you need to do today. I'm not nervous.
Yep. That and for the folks who want to take the time, look up Al Pacino Any Given Sunday speech. That'll be that's what I want Pochettino to do. Give me. I want the cup.
Oh, we know.
All right, we could tell.
You ready? Liverpool. I mean, I want to poop. I want to spoil Jurgen Klopp's freaking farewell tour. I'm sick of Jurgen Klopp with that.
That's kind of mean.
Oh, boo-hoo. With that stupid grin.
What do you
I've
want?
had enough.
Miserable?
You've won enough. You still can still win.
All this.
Excuse me. You can still win the Premier League. Okay, I can't. Let us have this, please.
Jacob, your club won the Champions League 3 years ago.
It's been a long, hard.
Shut
years.
up!
No,
shut up!
No,
shut up! You do not say it's been a long time. You do not say.
I said it's been a long, hard. No. I said it's been a long, hard 3 years since then. That's what I was saying.
That's a quick recovery there.
Okay.
And that's what I was saying before. You just didn't hear me correctly. That's what I said. It's been a long, hard 3 years since then.
I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear. You're becoming like Tuchel, Doc Rivers level.
Oh no. I am the biggest. I am the most anti Tuchel, Doc Rivers person that there is.
You know, I told Poch, you know,
I want to wear an all black suit. You know?
Okay. Real quick before we end the podcast, we have to end with something fun, something very lighthearted. Tonight, we're recording this on Wednesday, February 21st. It is opening night of the MLS. We know Jacob didn't watch. We're not going to talk about Inter Miami and Real Salt Lake, even though Christian and I probably could for a while. Probably, but Inter Miami won 2-0. Who would have guessed? But they advertised this on the broadcast multiple times. Apple released a special Messi workout pre-match playlist. And supposedly the gimmick is this is his personal playlist that he listens to during his warm-ups. I need one guess from each of you on
are any of them English songs? Like,
yes, there are. There are some
okay.
English songs.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're all Spanish.
You want us to guess an artist?
Or guess a song.
Can you give us some semblance of a hint? I mean, who knows what the hell he listens to?
I mean, you'd be shocked what's on this play. There's things from all over the place on this playlist.
In terms of genres.
But it's mostly Latin. It's mostly Latin. I'll say that.
Well, I don't want to guess that because that's gonna make it hard. But
there are some shockers on here.
I'm trying to think of what the shocker is.
What big name rapper does he listen to?
No, I don't think it's a rapper.
No rap.
Well, Latin rap. It could be Latin rap.
No, I don't think it's a rapper. I think it's like some iconic pops. I feel like does he have Adele? I don't know why I'm getting Adele vibes. Could be way off, but I don't know. Is that the big shocker?
Nope, not Adele.
I have no idea.
We'll throw her name out here. She's popular right now. Taylor Swift. I don't know.
No Taylor Swift. Well, let me just say what he has. So for one, near the top of this playlist is Despacito.
Okay.
Which is insane.
That is a great song, but yeah.
There's a lot of Bad Bunny.
Doesn't surprise me.
I wish Ricardo were here right now.
Hustlin' by Rick Ross.
He really is a Miami guy.
Don't Stop the Music by Rihanna.
Okay.
Feel Good Inc. from Gorillaz.
I don't know that song.
Highway to Hell by AC/DC.
What?
That's a great song. Hey,
I'm not joking.
Wow.
He's got
struck in there, but
I mean, First Person Shooter by Drake, J. Cole. I mean,
I'm trying to look at. Does
he has U2 on this playlist? I mean, it's the most random workout playlist that could be like that I could probably get behind. Actually, there's some Pitbull, of course.
Oh, of course.
There's some Pitbull, but I mean, some J Balvin. I mean, it's actually not. I don't think it's a bad playlist. I don't think I have to send this to you guys, but I don't know if it's what I expected from Messi. I don't know if I expected Highway to Hell from him.
I didn't expect Hustlin' by Rick Ross.
Hustlin' by Rick Ross was one of the funnier ones.
I just love that.
Oh, Viva La Vida by Coldplay's on this too.
It's a good song.
Banger.
Yeah, but is that a warm up song?
No,
that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's like a workout warm up song.
Hey, whatever gets him ready to go, I guess, right?
I just imagine him trying to sing Viva La Vida during his warm up. He's like hitting a free kick.
That'd be a good English. That'd be a good English lesson. Try and sing that song.
Oh, dude, I that's what I want to see. We're predicting John Champion's calls. I want to hear Messi sing "Viva La Vida" by Coldplay.
I want to hear Messi speak in English for like a minute without stopping. That's what I want to see.
Is that your challenge to him by the end of the season?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not. You know, I really want to hear him speak English. I mean, I'm not saying he can. It's easier said than done learning a new language, obviously. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. But I am curious. I do think that half the reason he went to Miami is because he could get away with speaking Spanish. I do think that was part of the allure. Oh, and again, whoever the hell is his translator, God, what a great job to have. Oh my God.
Miami, I mean, talked about in the past, Miami, big Argentinian population as well. I mean, he saw the famous photos of him getting Argentinian style pizza there that people were semi-clowning, but not knowing the full context behind Argentinian pizza.
Going to Publix in public.
Publix iconic images. Like that was in Apple's pre-match like hype videos. Like they're showing Messi at Publix. They're like, he's just like us. But yeah. So I saw that on the broadcast. I'm sure Christian saw it too, and I made note of it right away. I'm like, we got to talk about this. So I'm glad we did. But anyways, I'm gonna hop off and listen to this playlist as I try to go to sleep. So I had enough of talking to both of you about soccer for about 2 hours. This is one of our longer episodes. So congratulations.
That's right.
And
here we go to Sunday.
Yeah, here we go. John Champion.
Cuckoo. We go.
Oh wait, whoa! But before we sign off, speaking of Fab. Quickly, I need to say for a minute, Fab's video on Mbappe explained the whole situation better than any tweet did for the past year on the Mbappe situation. Applause for Fabrizio Romano, who still gets a lot of reporting wrong, but I will gladly. He had one of the best explanations I've ever seen. It's like Thierry Henry breaking down a highlight. It was exquisite, and him saying that we will know once he informs PSG was all I needed to hear. So thank you, Fabrizio Romano. You are a godsend. But anyways, you boys have anything else?
Nope. Go Chelsea.
Go John Champion and Stuart Robson. One of my favorite duos.
All side.
Yeah. Hope Stuart Robson's calling the game on Saturday. Anyways, it was great talking to you guys. We'll see what happens next week. Peace out.